Hello, my name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing my 3-month Trading 212 update. So I started this account back in May of 2020, but then I only started recording these updates in January 2021 because I wanted to share with you my progress as a fairly new beginner to buying individual stocks and shares. So in January 2021, which was 3 months ago now, I had £1,009 in this account, and I now have £1,065.44. An increase of 5.6%, which I am really pleased with. So a month or so ago, I was all the way up at over 20% up. So this portfolio was doing very well, but then obviously as expected, the market dipped a little bit. So I'm back now at around 5.6% increase since January, which to me personally, I'm really happy with in 3 months. I think that's brilliant and I'm very pleased. So you'll see my Trading 212 account on the screen, and since I actually started it, it has got a 22.28% growth, but I started it in May 2020. So yeah, growth since January is 5.6%. Now I'm also going to go through with you some really interesting top 5 performers from my account in the last week as well, just because I think that's quite interesting to see what's doing well at the moment and a little bit of the reasoning behind why things are going well. So my first top performer from this week is, drum roll please, that didn't sound like a drum, it sounded sort of like a dodgy trumpet, I don't know. So the first top performer is Roku, which is up 12.57% in the last week. So Roku is a streaming service, a media streaming service, and basically what happened with Roku is that a really respected analyst called Mark Mahaney, who's from Evercore ISI, said he expects to see Roku stock outperforming the market in the year ahead. So he expects to see the share price of the streaming service to go above $400. So that's basically what's caused this stock to really go up in the last week. And I'm really pleased that I am still currently holding Roku, and it is something I plan to hold on to for a little bit longer as well. So the next one that has done very well for me in the last week, which I do plan to hold on to for some time because I do see it going well in the future and continuing to go well, and I've seen some great growth, is Crowdstrike. So Crowdstrike is up 8.35% in the last week. And now they actually had a virtual conference on Thursday of last week where they said that they aim to grow their annual recurring revenue to $3 billion by 2025. Now, their estimated revenue for 2021 is $1 billion. So that is huge gains that they're going to try and make over the next few years up until 2025. So that is why the share price has gone, well, probably why the share price has gone up quite a lot in the last week. And for me, this is something that I think could do really well, and plan to hold on to probably all the way into 2025. So I'll be there ready to see if they've made that $3 billion. Next one is Zillow Group. Now Zillow Group is an American online real estate marketplace. So it's kind of the equivalent of Rightmove or a company like that here in the UK. They were founded in 2006 and have done very well in terms of their share price over the last few years. I plan to hold this stock for the long term. It constantly appears in my kind of top 5 performers, and it does very well. I really like it as a concept and I like the company, so I will maintain holding Zillow Group. The next one that had a really good week is Apple. So Apple is up 8.11% in my account. It goes without saying that Apple is a powerhouse of a company. It's one that I plan to hold on to for the long term. It's brilliant that it's had that growth in the last week, but regardless of that, I do plan to just continue holding on to Apple. So the next stock that's done really well for me in the last week is PayPal. So PayPal was one of the stocks that I included in a video that I called Forever Stocks, or stocks that I plan to hold on to forever. It has gone up 7.76% in the last week. It has also been shown in the last month to have massively outperformed the market. So in the last month, its gains were 11.03%, which meant that it outpaced the computer and technology sector gain, which was 5.14%, and it also outpaced the S&P 500's gain of 6.19%. So that is a stock that has very solidly shown in the last month that it's outperformed the market and has done very, very well. I use PayPal an awful lot. I'm just going to say on the daily, but that makes me sound like I do a lot of shopping, but probably on the daily. And I've also used their business services in the past before, when I was self-employed. So I think that their services are really good. Obviously they can be expensive to use, but I think that at the moment for me, I'm very, very happy with PayPal, very pleased to be holding some of this stock, and very pleased that it's gone up 7.76% in the last week. So that is awesome. So just to give you an idea of what I plan to do with this Trading 212 account, I'm going to list all of the stocks and shares that I have in this account, which I think is either 25 or 26 at the moment. So nice diverse portfolio, over 20 stocks and shares within it. So really a lot of diversity within there. So I will list that down below just so you can see what I'm holding. If you are interested in looking at that in a bit more detail, please do take a look. In terms of what I plan to do with this account is I was not planning on depositing any more money into this account. I wanted to see how I could grow it over the next year. Obviously Trading 212 isn't doing any free shares or anything like that at the moment, so I haven't been getting any money coming in through that or anything, and then also I haven't been depositing any money at all. So my plan is still to do that, so still to just leave it at that 1,009 that it was at January, and just to see where we are a year later. But that being said, I do plan to make some changes within the account. So there are stocks and shares that I have been holding on to for a long time, partly, to be honest, not for the best reasons, probably because of sentimental reasons. So one of those stocks that I've been holding for a long time is Zoom. And that is probably because that was kind of my first stock that I held quite a lot of money in, bought it at the start of lockdown, and then it went up an awful lot really. And I was really, really pleased with that, and then sold a lot of that when it was up at its kind of high points, and it's now coming back down. And I think that because that was an exciting time for me to be able to see that money go up with Zoom, and because I do think the service is really good, again, I do still use it, not for work, but I do use it for chats in lockdown, and done a few pub quizzes on there and that kind of thing with Zoom. So yes, I really, really like them, but I think potentially I don't know, because I obviously am not an expert, but I think potentially when I sold a lot of that Zoom stock, it was kind of up there performing really, really well, and I can't see that it's going to get back up there. I think it's kind of flatlining a little bit. So I am going to sell a little bit of Zoom, and there's also a couple of stocks and shares I think were quite hyped when I bought them. A few of them were featured in the kind of ARK Invest, which is a fund that's done very well. And I thought, well, I'll buy that because I particularly like ARK Invest, and I thought I'll see how it goes. But there are a few stocks that I'm not quite sure about, having done a bit more research, that I might get rid of or sell part of and then replace with a few. So the ones that I am looking at over the next week, and I'm going to do a kind of invest with me video where you can see exactly what I choose to do, what I buy and sell within this Trading 212 portfolio. So if you'd like to see that, then please do subscribe, because I will be doing that in the next couple of weeks, so you can check out what I'm up to with my Trading 212 account. But anyway, the shares that I am looking at purchasing within my Trading 212 account are Alphabet, because I own no Google whatsoever, which seems absolutely nuts really. I also think it might be a good time to buy it, because there has been that kind of little bit of a dip in tech. So but I think with Google, well, Alphabet, which is Google, there's probably just never a good time to buy it. Just get on with it and just buy it. So yes, Alphabet, I'll be buying a little bit of that, I think. The next one is Lam Research Corp, or Lam Research Corp. I'm not entirely sure how you say it. That is a semiconductor company, and I think that I hold a lot of semiconductor companies at the moment, and they've done very well for me. And Personally, I think they're potentially not the most exciting stocks and shares to be talking about, unless you're really into semiconductors. And I do quite like them, but I'm not, massive semiconductor fan, but I do like them. So yeah, potentially one of those stocks that's not particularly interesting, super interesting, but could potentially do very well in the future. So that's one I'm looking at. The next one I'm going to be looking at is Disney. Obviously the parks are going to be starting to open up again. I did hold a bit of Disney at the start of lockdown as well, and I sold it, and I'm thinking potentially I might like to buy it again. It's a kind of brand that I personally really like. I have 2 daughters and they really like Disney, but that's not a good enough reason to buy it. I just think potentially now might be a good time to buy. The next one is Seagate Technology, which is data and cloud storage. Again, so perhaps falling into that not so interesting kind of stock, but something that I think could do well over the next year. I would be really interested to hear if there's any stocks and shares that you think I should be buying, whether you think this is a good diverse portfolio, or whether you think I'm really missing something that I should have in there. Do let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. I really hope your Trading 212 accounts are going well. It's been an interesting few months, but I have been holding tight. So yeah, thank you so very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you're having a lovely, lovely Sunday. All the best. Bye-bye.